Hi, I'm Victoria. Today I'm here with Henry Winkler and Lin Oliver to discuss their latest book in the Here's Hank series. So the main character, Hank, has dyslexia as well as you do.
Yes.
And can you discuss how it was growing up with it?
Victoria, what happened was I didn't know that I had anything. I didn't know there was a name to what was happening in my brain. And I was frustrated most of the time. I was, I tried so hard. You know, there's one chapter in one of our books where I've memorized all my words for the spelling test. I know them backwards and forwards. I know them, and I go to sleep confidently. I wake up in the morning. I have my cereal confidently. I get to my classroom. I don't remember one word. They must have fallen out of my head on the stairwell. And it was like that about everything. You know, so why don't I figure it out like everybody else? I want to, and I just couldn't. And then at 31, I found out that I had something with a name, and it let me relax a little bit.
And how did this partnership form, and how is it like working with Henry Winkler?
Well, the partnership formed because Henry and I were introduced by a mutual friend whose name is Alan Berger. He's an agent. And he suggested to Henry that he write a book for children about his experiences growing up with dyslexia. And Henry said, well, I can't do that because I have dyslexia. So he said, well, let me partner you up, because one of the things our books try and express is that there's a way to do everything. No matter who you are, you just have to figure out a way. So our way was to collaborate so that I am and had always been a traditional writer, and Henry had this great story to tell, so we combined his emotions with storytelling and writing experience, and we produced the Hank Zipzer World's Best Underachiever books. And what's it like working with him? Well, it's a lot of fun. We laugh pretty much all the time, except when I'm typing. It's emotional because in writing the books, he remembers parts of his childhood that were difficult. So it's a real roller coaster of a journey, but we're so proud to work together on these books.
True.
And how did you know you wanted to be a writer?
Oh, I was born a writer. I was born, when I was 2 years old, I was covering the neighborhood telling stories. My parents called them lies, but I called them stories. And so ever since I can remember, I've been telling stories. And when I started kindergarten, I won a poetry contest, and they put my poem on the bulletin board. And I was caught hook, line, and sinker from that moment on.
And can you tell me about the special font in the book?
Okay, so we have a special font that we use, first time in America.
Wow.
It was designed by a dad in Holland for his children and also for himself, because he too had or has dyslexia. And what it does is it makes it much easier for the new reader to track the words across the page. It makes the word and the eye friends.
Wow. And who comes up with the story idea?
That's a good question. Who comes up with the story idea?
We both do.
We both do. That's right. Just like that. It usually starts with, we get together every morning when we write and we start talking, and then something comes up. Henry says, oh, I had a very funny experience, or well, I tell him something that happened to me as a child, and that generates an idea. We just wrote a short story, our first short story ever about Hank, and it's about him in a robotics competition, building a robot. And that came about because of a woman I know who does my nails. Her son had just won a robotics competition, and I thought that was so interesting. So I was telling Henry about it, and we thought this would be a great thing for Hank to experience. So a lot of times our stories come from things that are true, that he experienced growing up or that one of our children did, but sometimes it just comes from something that we read. And then as we talk about it, you know as a writer, when you have a good idea, it announces itself. Yeah.
And do you have a message for kids who have dyslexia?
I do. I have a message. First of all, you're not defined by school. Second of all, no matter how difficult it is to learn, has nothing to do with how brilliant you are. Third of all, you all have greatness inside you. Your job is to figure out what that greatness is, dig it out, and give it to the world as a gift. Because we all want to see who you become. And that is the truth.
Well, thank you, and that was really amazing. Thank you guys so much.
It was a pleasure. And we love your microphone.
Thank you.